Hey, what's going on YouTube? My name is Brian and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Man, it has been quite some time since the last one that I made of these. Last time I posted on this channel, really. I know I said that in the post I made that went out today, the community post. I said that it's been a while and I wanted to, I just figured that I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update on where I've been and also what's to come, because a lot has happened in the last, obviously it's been already half the year. And then obviously the end of 24 kind of, at least with this main channel, or what I'm considering the main channel more than a bit, there's just been a lack of content from the mapping side of things and the alternate history side of things. And I just kind of wanted to talk about that briefly in this video, and kind of clarify some things that you guys may have wondered or even commented about if I've, from what I've seen so far. Anyways, that said, I'm gonna start. If I look off to my right, your guys' left, it's because I have my monitor here pulled up. My setup is over here now, and I have a little note sheet down and just kind of to guide me on where I want to go with this video. So if you see me looking over here, that's as in the past. That's just for me to just reference, so I don't have to go everything off of memory. Because I thought a lot about how I'm gonna do this video in the past, and I just figured I would at least lay it out somewhat kind of arbitrarily on this monitor over here. That way I'm not like kind of saying ums and uhs a lot, but so that way you guys can get through this video, update video, without being bored or losing focus and all that. So anyways, let's get right into it. All right, so first thing, the topic to talk about is where have I been? So I'm sure many of you have watched the previous update videos on this channel, but I've made a lot of them. So if you haven't, they're all probably listed. I think there's a playlist that you can go find them. I have that link in the description, or you can just search on my channel update video and I'm sure it'll come up. So for starters, I'm sure, well, I've said this in the past multiple times, but I'm going to reiterate it again for all of you new folks here, because there's already 4,300 of you, by the way. Thank you for that. But I just want to reiterate here that I've been treating YouTube as a side hobby. I've been not as a side like gig, like I make money off of it, or a side like a job or anything. So I've been very much taking school, for example, has the priority over YouTube, and I'm obviously still in school and still will be in school for a little while yet. So that always, as always, will have more priority. So that said, there's been not many uploads over the last few months in the first half of this year. That's mainly why, because I've just been focusing on school and a lot and everything that goes along with that. The other thing too is been definitely much more focused on my mental health and making sure I'm where I need to be, and making sure that I still feel like myself and I'm still, feeling energetic and motivated and to potentially do more, content creation and all that, since that's what I potentially want to do more and more in the future, especially after I get done with school and all that. So to put it simply, like I said, that's so reason why I've been gone. School has been on my mind more, and then there's been some life changes that have gone on as well. I'm obviously not going to go into those too deeply for obvious reasons. But yeah, I've just been mainly putting more focus on my mental health and on my schoolwork, which is why there hasn't been very many uploads as of late. So number two, any changes in content or anything, some things that I've been thinking about that I want to discuss here in this video. So number one, content-wise. Obviously, I mentioned earlier that this channel that this video is on, Lego Brian Productions, I still consider that the main channel, as it is technically it's the first original YouTube account that I made, back when I originally created it way back in, I know YouTube says 2014, which I think is technically right, but I didn't start posting content on it until 2016 in like June. I think we just passed 9 years too. I didn't really make a big deal out of it necessarily because it's not 10 years yet. We might make a big deal next year, but this year, it is what it is. But yeah, so the content on this channel has mainly, I still consider this the main channel. The content for this channel will not change either, at least for the foreseeable future. It will still be mapping, alternate history, and I think I'm gonna do some films on there here eventually, like stop motion films, animations, if I get into that a little bit. But actually, as a matter of fact, it probably will be stop motions in some way, either using Legos or Transformers or other toys and action figures. So I guess look forward to that. Hopefully in the future at some point. Obviously, I'm not really into that sort of thing right now, and I don't really have. I feel like the the space to do that sort of stuff, or the equipment rather. I mean, I could probably try and work on it a little bit, but as of now, my interests, where those lie, that is also, that's going to be something way down in the future. And I wouldn't necessarily, worry about that too much, at least for that side of things, where I want to take this channel eventually in the future. Now, obviously, I did not mention in that what I just talked about, the mapping side of things. And the reason for that is because as of late, I'm going to be totally honest, have not really been much into the mapping mood, or the alternate history mood for that matter. Something I want to get off my chest here, at least to admit to you guys, is that I, as a person, I like a lot of things. I have a lot of interests. My interests change constantly. They're still, obviously all the time. Like there's moments where I'll go through, like I like to play a certain game all the time, or I like to do something else all the time. Like it's always shifted throughout my life, and I'm still young enough, obviously, that those are constantly changing, probably more so than other people's. So that said, as of the last couple of months, mapping hasn't really been something on my mind really that much. It's been on sometimes, but not as of late, especially with like light changes that have been going on and all that. So that just means that's why this channel, especially Legobrand Productions, has seen less production over the last however many months, because the mapping videos, I'm sure you guys are aware, they take a while to make, at least the way I make them, which is still kind of an old school way of and not really an efficient way of making them. And then obviously the alternate history ones as well, those take longer, potentially be based on how writing the script for it and writing, making all the maps and making all the changes, trying to figure out how I'm going to make it different from real history, and trying to come up with a story in that sense. Essentially what happens is it requires a lot of creativity on my part, and based on what's been going on in life for me and how I've been feeling lately and trying, focusing on my mental health and all that, just how that's been as of late, I've kind of just not been that creative and really just been that motivated to sit down and try and come up with ideas and brainstorm ideas to create a story that not only that I will feel good about, but also that you guys, the viewers, will enjoy, especially when it comes to the two past alternate history videos that I made with the USA and that's technically the Confederate States, but within that USA's timeline. So I think that timeline, if I'm not mistaken, is called the Nueva Americana Imperia or something like that. I think it's Latin for like New American Age or American Empire or something. It's a name that actually someone suggested in the comment, and I just forget what it was called now, but I'll have to look it up and I'll find it again. But anyways, so that's the first thing I want to talk about. It's just the reason why the mapping stuff hasn't been coming out. I've been seeing your guys' comments. I appreciate all the support I'm getting on those videos, the USA one particularly, and the Confederate States one as well. I've seen all those. I've been reading all of them. I've been liking a lot of them. Appreciate all the support. I'm just here to let you guys know that those videos might not come out as frequently as they were back then. Not that they were coming out frequently back then when I made them, but as of now, I haven't been really thinking about them a whole lot, and my mind's been elsewhere. And that is what I'm going to get into this next topic, which is our big announcement that I was going to make in this video that I wanted to, which was that what's probably going to be happening over the next few months is, at least I'm going to try to do this, is I want to try and produce more content. I want to keep uploading more to try and grow my platform. And I feel like the content that I want to do is mostly gaming based, and that's kind of going back to where I started on this channel, which I know I talked about this in the update video. I'm pretty sure I did in the update video that I made over a year ago and started 2024. But I do still want to go back to my roots a little bit and play more video games, or at least record more video games, because now, and that's one thing I wanted to mention too, is that the reason why I started mapping so much back in 2017 was because the computer I had at the time and the equipment I owned was not suitable, or as suitable as it could have been for the content I wanted to produce gaming wise, which was like, producing at like 1080p, 60 FPS, or even 30 FPS, whatever. But yeah, so that gaming sort of thing, like that, like wasn't, I didn't have what I needed. I felt like I needed at the time to make what I wanted to make. Obviously, if you go back and watch my old videos, you'll see that I made do with what I had. But ever since then, it's kind of been a goal of mine to at least get to that point where I can feel like I can record at least decent quality videos for you guys to watch and enjoy. And now I feel like fast forwarding 8 years later, I am now at that point where I have the machine, I have the resources that will allow me to do that sort of thing. So I really want to try and get back into it if I can. Obviously, if it doesn't work out, we'll go a different route. But as of now, I want to try and get back into it. I want to get back to more of producing content. Like, even if it doesn't get a whole lot of attention, just keep producing content, and eventually it will, because that's how YouTube's algorithm works usually. But yeah, so that's kind of the main thing I wanted to discuss here, is that starting soon here, the mapping side is going to still probably get some content if I decide to get around to it, but slowly I'm going to be putting a lot more attention and focus into Lego Brian the gaming channel, Lego Brian and Gaming, which I started producing more content actually back at the end of last year. If you guys weren't aware, if you don't follow that channel, feel free to go check it out. But yeah, I just started posting content on that more last year into this year. Haven't really done much this year, obviously, with school and all that. So now that I'm back on summer break as of right now, want to get more content out for that, and hopefully push that into the fall more too. We'll see how things work with my college schedule and all that, but I'm hoping to get content out more often, and we'll see what happens. So, but yeah, so to recap, mapping is still going to be a thing I'll produce, just not as often and not right away at least. And then the gaming side of things, really going to go hard at that. This goes for both Lego Brian Gaming and Brian MC, the Minecraft channel I have, which that's a whole nother thing I not necessarily want to get into in this video. So yeah, that's what's going to be happening on that side of things. Hope you guys can understand a little bit. I know it's kind of a bummer for those of you that want those videos produced, or you're looking forward to the next alternate history video, the next mapping video, but I'm just saying, based on my interest at this time, that's kind of where I'm going to lean towards. It's more gaming videos that are easier to make, fast, or take less time to produce. Obviously, I'm still much more of a quality over quantity guy, so it won't be like I'm going to throw out a video even if it's not good. Like, I'll still make sure it's at least hopefully entertaining. But yeah, that's where that's going to go. So let's move on. That's a little bit to a different topic here. So next thing, actually a little add-on, a little addendum to that last remark I made. Lego Brian Gaming may or may not be getting a new name, potentially. I say that because I've thought about it more recently, and like, obviously I have Lego Brian Productions, which is just, you know, the full name, like, it works well. Brian MC, that's not going to change. The fourth channel, the vlog channel, Brian Does Things, that also won't change. However, as of Lego Brian Gaming, I feel like, I don't know, like, part of it's like, I like the and gaming because that's kind of how I started, but I also feel like that I could maybe change it slightly, so that way, like, it could, you know, just be easier to say, like, Lego Brian Productions. So I thought about a couple names, include like Lego Brian Gaming, like to drop in the and entirely, or just Lego Brian Games, like with a Z, like do that, or an S, doesn't really matter. But I feel like if I do that, it makes it sound a little strange, and it sounds like I'm like all those other channels that have the games in their name or something. I don't know. It's really random, but it's a thought I had, so I thought I'd put it in there. So I thought I'd get my 2 cents on it. All right, and then after that, the last thing I wanted to discuss here is how I'm going to be running the gaming channel moving forward. I've watched a lot of my past videos and realized that I do tend to start a lot of series and not finish them because I get bored or get burnt out from them. So the way I'm going to be doing it moving forward is, if I play a new game, or if I play a different game that, you know, I like to play or something, and I want to make a video on it, it's not going to necessarily be a series unless, you know, you guys show a lot of support, or if I like playing it a lot. And then in that case, it might turn into a series, but I won't say like, we're going to start a new series today, because it might only go for an episode and then be done. It might go for 2 episodes and then be done. And that's not really a series. It's just like a 2-part thing. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to try and do moving forward. Obviously there's other games, some games that I might play that have story modes in them, so we'll have to do other parts. But a lot of it also will depend, or a little bit, I guess, especially as I'm trying to grow the gaming channel, will be on your guys' input, the viewers, and what you guys like to see and all that. And obviously you're always free to leave suggestions in the comments. I do read them. But yeah, so that's another last thing I wanted to mention was that from now on, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue series that are already going. Unless they're really not showing support, then I'll stop. and start something new. And then we'll basically see how that all goes and how it plays out. And if it doesn't work that way, then I'll try something else in the future maybe. But as of now, I honestly think that should work. But we'll have to see how that works. So with that said, I think that's about it. Honestly, yeah, I think honestly that's about it. So I mean, if you guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit, like I said, all over the place, and hopefully you'll understand a little bit of what I'm saying, and trying to get across to you guys. But obviously this is the first time I've recorded in a while, so forgive me on that. But yeah, thank you guys so much again for the support that you've been giving on this channel, this Spider-Man Productions, and my other ones if you checked out those channels. If you haven't, all of them will be linked in the description. Also, what will be linked in the description will be my Twitter and my Instagram page for this channel. So you guys can feel free to follow those. I'll try and post on those when new videos go up, on any of the channels I run. I do know that it's a lot of channels to run, and I'm trying my best to run more than one. I have thought about kind of trying to consolidate it a little bit more, but we'll try it the way it is right now, and we'll see how that goes for a few months. If it doesn't work, I'll consolidate it, and we'll just go with that. So a lot of it depends on my interest and my motivation. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. So hope you guys enjoyed this one, and yeah, look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a good one. Take care. Peace.